Well, hello again. Um, I hope y'all are doing fantastic, having a fantastic whatever day it is by the time you see this. I can tell you that it's Saturday for me. I'm filming this on a Saturday, and I wanted to kind of just share something that's I'm dealing with right now. It's all about identity and knowing who you are in Christ. Of course, social media, I guess the public in general, we're on this feel good type of motivational speaking. I don't even know what to call it or how to class it, but where we are telling ourselves from a secular standpoint, you're a queen, you're a king, rise above whatever circumstances. I mean, and of course, absolutely, we must rise above whatever circumstance. That's actually uh, part of the Christian walk is learning to, as Paul put it, abase and abound in whatever situation we find ourselves. But I think that can be a little bit misleading, like the whole um, worldview persona of we're kings and queens. And one of my cousins, of course, I have to not name drop, but status drop. My cousin said this, but he got on his social media page one day and was like, you know what, all of these kings and queens, we haven't had that many like in the history of the whole world. Like, in other words, give it a break. Everybody can't be a king and a queen. So, I just thought that needed to be said because first of all, we want to identify with royalty, and it's like, what does that actually look like? Like when I say that I'm a queen, exactly who am I identifying with that makes me, like, what queen am I identifying with to say that, okay, I too am a queen? I have queenly qualities. Exactly. Are we saying that, because of my status in my home, that I'm a queen because I rule over subjects in my home? Um, and, I really don't, this is like rhetorical. Like, I really don't know the answer. This is just something to think about because I too, I don't know that I've been, because y'all know me, I'm like very, um, I want to say fearful, maybe not really fearful, but I'm hesitant to call myself anything of greatness because of self-esteem issues, probably. But it's more of because of this type of analysis that I go through. I pretty much analyze just about everything that I shouldn't analyze, and maybe everything. I'll go ahead and put it out there. I think I analyze just about everything. So, in this, number one, I never felt like regal or anything. So I wouldn't have called myself a queen per se, but people have called, referred to me as queen, especially like in relationships and those boothing type relationships, oh, he's my queen. And of course, I reciprocate, or maybe I even started it and refer to that person as king or whatever, but that's a whole different, for a whole different meaning, a whole different set of reasons. Not that he's like ruling over me or whatever, but it was kind of ego tripping, kind of boosting the ego or whatever. But anyway, back to this identity thing, because yeah, y'all will learn about me. I can go down all of these little bunny trails and never come back. So let's come back to the identity. So, um, when we're identifying with royalty, what exactly are we saying about ourselves? Like, is does this mean that, you know, I'm in total control? I'm a monarch in my home. I'm a monarch on the job. I'm a monarch in the relationship. It's like, what are we really saying? Because, of course, the only queen or royalty that I've been, when I say exposed to, I mean, like, not that I've met the queen or whatever, but, in real life that we actually see in the news from time to time would be the royal family in England. Um, we may have read books about other queens and kings, like Henry VIII comes to mind, and Mary of Tudor, Bloody Mary. Like, who hasn't heard about those people? So with the royals that I just named, is that really what we're identifying with? So I think that kind of helps keep us confused about who we are as far as who God says we are. So, from a Christian perspective, y'all know I always have to inject my Christianity in it. Yes, I do. From a Christian perspective, God is the supreme, the almighty, the all knowing, like the ultimate empower being. And we are his children. So, if that is where we are drawing our royalty from, we have to go back and recognize the role that Jesus played, his only begotten son, hear what I'm saying? What role he played when he was here. Did Jesus come down here touting his royalty? Absolutely not. And as a joke per se, they hung it over his head on the cross, Jesus, King of the Jews, trying to be funny. But look at his walk. At no point during his walk did he tout his royalty. Did he say, yeah, I'm king of the world, I'm king of the universe? And so for us, every time I see that, and again, I've been guilty of probably promoting this. Well, not probably. I've been guilty of promoting this whole mindset. And not, I guess, going further, because even as I'm speaking to you, I'm remembering and recalling some things that I told my children, that they are my girls, y'all are princesses. And, the boys, yeah, I had to think, did I tell my oldest? Because, those are the test children, we don't do stuff. So I may not have, and please don't angrily comment talking about test children. It's a whole nother conversation, but I don't mean it in a bad, nasty way. Anyway, so I've kind of perpetuated that mentality of I'm a princess, I'm a prince, without, I guess, infusing the gospel into it. And so they're going to take this worldly worldview. I mean, I've stopped doing it. I've hesitated some, even though one of my daughters, she still says, I'm a princess. And I'm like, yeah, and you're acting like one too. And we don't want that. So back to Jesus when he was among us here on earth. How did he walk? Did he tout that whole thing about I'm king of the Jews, or I'm king of the world, I'm king of the universe? No, he was very humble. He came in a lowly position, being born in a feeding trough, in a stable. That's where kingliness starts. Yes. All of that tells us that there is a lowliness that comes with being a daughter or a son of the Most High God. We don't get to brag. We don't get bragging rights. Just because I'm his child, I can, pump my chest and be like, I am. And so I know I'm going to get some, backlash, raised eyebrows because of that very thing. Because yes, there's a fine line though. So I'm not saying that you are to be nothing, like you're dirt. But I mean, there's a fine line, and please hear me well, and don't jump the gun in judgment against what I'm saying, because there is absolutely a fine line between knowing who we are in Christ and coming boldly to the throne of grace and declaring things as so, because he wants us to be bold and he wants us to walk by faith. So I'm not saying don't do that, but it's this whole persona of, because I am a queen, the daughter of the Most High God, because I am a princess, because Jesus is King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Because I am a princess, then, I have certain rights and privileges that you don't. And even though, yeah, that is, so it's like it has this carnality to it when we present it like that, instead of presenting the fullness of the gospel, because that's just a little smidgen. Yes, those of us who are born again believers, and I said that I wanted to shy away from saying born again, but that pretty much what it works out to. But those of us who are born again believers, we do have privileges that the rest of the world does not. Does that mean they can't get those privileges? So that's where the hiccup is, and what I feel like our presenting this glorified self in ourselves, and we're only supposed to glorify God, by the way, is that we are conveying a message to the others. Haha, I got this, you can't get this. Because guess what? In earthly format, no matter how I may want the power or the prestige or the riches of the royal family, I can never be a royal here on planet Earth. In the secular, in societal means, I can never be that. But we need to make the distinction. That's what I'm getting at, because now I'm at 11 minutes and I really haven't even gotten to the crux of what I started out talking about. So this is going to be one of them flub type videos. I think I'm going to go ahead and post it though, because I haven't posted in a while and I need to post something. But yeah, let us not make it like an exclusive club and you can't get in. You can get in. There are requirements, and the only requirement is that you believe in who God sent to save you from your stuff. And so that's the message that we need to promote. If we're going to put ourselves out there as kings and queens, okay, fine. I don't think I'm going to join that bandwagon or even promoting myself as, a princess. But we do need to follow that up with, and you too can be royal, and you too can be a queen, and you too can be a king if you trust Jesus with your heart.